Here's another installment of what it's like to go to war. And on this video, I want to talk about hate. You see, it's really easy to fall into the trap of allowing hate to motivate everything that a warrior does on the battlefield. It's natural because the thing that brought a military force to combat in the first place had to be terrible. Nobody goes to war over friendly circumstances. Nobody wants to go to war and experience that much death and that much killing if something really, really terrible didn't happen. Right now in the world, as I'm recording this video, there is a massive war going on in the Ukraine. There's a war going on in Israel, and there are hot spots of fighting all over the world. War's been going on ever since human beings started to hate one another, and hurt always follows hate. You might be scratching your head right now thinking, wait a second, I don't understand. Shouldn't you care so deeply about something that you're willing to stand up and fight against it? Doesn't that automatically mean that you must hate the thing that hurts what you care about? And my answer to that question is no, not necessarily. I believe that one of the strongest of all human emotions is hate. And I also believe warriors that are inexperienced, those guys and gals that have maybe never gone to combat before, or maybe are on their very first couple of days in combat, it's going to be very easy to slip into hate and allow this really powerful human emotion to give you the energy to face the fear and to give you the ability to handle the exhaustion and the many other mind-numbing and physically depleting experiences that happen only on the battlefield. There are more than a few guys, hundreds, if not thousands of guys and gals that I have seen who have been powerfully motivated on the battlefield by hate. Here's the problem with hate. Hate can open up the doors to do something that you're going to regret for a long, long time. In fact, if you really go back and get into the essence of all of those enormous human tragedies, all of those great atrocities that have ever happened throughout the history of the world, just in the last century, I'm talking about the Armenian genocide in Turkey. I'm referring to the genocide in Srebrenica. I'm talking about what happened in the Chinese city of Nanking, not to mention the Nazi Holocaust. It was always started by hate. Now, hate doesn't always lead to the mass killings in Rwanda, where people are literally killing their next door neighbor with no remorse whatsoever. Hate doesn't always lead to that. But those human rights atrocities are always motivated by hate. Do you see what I'm saying? Hate is a powerful emotion, but it's also like a stick of nitroglycerin that could explode at any moment the more that it's shaken. And the damage that hate can do is incredible. So the really experienced warriors, those that have been on the battlefield many times, believe it or not, they're not motivated by hate. There's one other human emotion that's far more powerful than hate. It's the emotion of love. And what motivates the most experienced warriors that I know, the guys and gals that have gone again and again and again and been through incredible hardships, and they keep facing them and keep going through incredible dangers and terrible difficulties, and they're able to keep facing them again and again. They're not motivated by hate, because hate can only take you so far. It's a really, really powerful emotion, but it can only take you so far. It can't take you all the way to handling all of the challenges that you're going to face on a battlefield. The more powerful of the two human emotions is love. Love is always more powerful than hate. And the most experienced warriors that I've ever seen, they're on the battlefield for a different reason. They're not there because they hate the enemy. They're not there because they hate what the enemy stands for, or even what the enemy has done to their country or their way of life. They're there because they love something far greater than they hate the enemy. They love their families. They love their friends. They love their freedom. They love their country, or they love their way of life. And that love is what causes them to keep going to battlefields over and over again, like the generation of America's warriors that went to Afghanistan and Iraq for an entire career, literally spent their entire career in the military, repeatedly going back and forth to war when they were never drafted and nobody forced them to join the military in the first place. Love is always a more powerful emotion than hate. And loving what's left at home will get a warrior through some of the most darkest circumstances, some of the most difficult situations in combat. Hate can only take you so far. Love is the only emotion that can take you all the way. And here's the challenge. If you really want to be successful on the battlefield, and I define success as conducting yourself with honor and being able to live with yourself for what you did or what you didn't do on the battlefield. If you want to be a successful warrior on the battlefield and live with yourself for the rest of your life and not have to drink your memories of war away at an American Legion or a Veterans of Foreign Wars bar every night for the rest of your life, you better figure out how to leverage love instead of hate on the battlefield. I know this may sound philosophical. I realize this may sound highly theoretical, but you'll have to take my experience for it. This is a massive difference the moment that you come back from combat. If you were conducting yourself because of love versus hate. Just a few thoughts for you on what it's like to go to war.